Let's make some Easter treats today. Hi everyone, it's getting close to Easter, and one of my favorite things to do is to put together little candy treats that I can share with family and friends for each of the holidays. This is an example of one of the little candy treats that I've already shared, and I will put a link below to that. But I've got the little eggs, the little chocolate eggs inside of this little bunny treat holder. But in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 different ways that you can use plastic bags to put your candy in and decorate it, especially for Easter. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, the hardest thing about this project is to not eat the candy before you put it in the containers and then give it away as treats for everyone. But this is a great opportunity. There's a lot of Easter candy out right now. Grab up some little jelly beans, some chocolate eggs, any kind of little chocolate candies, really anything that your friends and family enjoy. And now I'm going to share with you some ways that you can package these to give them a little extra treat for this Easter holiday. Like I mentioned, I have 5 different projects I'm going to share with you today. And before I start each project, I'm going to give you the supply list so you'll be able to follow along and get the things that you can to make similar projects like this. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the easiest project first, but it's still very cute. For the first project, you're going to need some plastic gift bags, and these are 5 by 11. They have a little bit of an iridescent shine to them. I think I got these at the Dollar Tree, and these are the kind of bags that usually come with the little closures like you get on a bread bag or that sort of thing, but we're not going to use those. We're going to spruce it up just a little bit. There's nothing wrong with using these, but I'm going to take my little bag and I'm simply going to fill it with some really cute candy. Now, I found these little carrots at the $1.25 tree. I was going to say the Dollar Tree, but I think they're wonderful for Easter. They're little chocolates. I'm going to put some of those in there. And then I also have some little eggs. So let's open these up. But what makes this really cute is when you have the almost clear bag and then you have the beautiful spring colors for Easter. And so we're just going to drop some chocolates in here, mix that up. You put in as many as you want. But here's where we're going to bump it up a bit, and that's with really cute ribbon. And so I have gone in and found some really cute spring colors that I have. Everything from little butterflies and polka dots, a lot of the pastels. I also like using this gift ribbon. This is the kind, that you can curl with your scissors, but I think I'm going to go with this bright pink that I have here. And actually, when I look at it, it says Michael's Store on it, but I've probably had this for quite a long time. But I love the bright pink, and it's got a little bit of little white circular swirls on there, and I think we're going to go with that. So let me get a piece off. I'm going to trim off the end. Now, you can always use a closure here, like a rubber band or something, but I'm thinking it's going to be easy enough. I'm going to trim off a little bit more than 12 inches, and then I'm just going to tie my bag together. Now, it's cute to do just one of these, but it really looks good when you have multiples, and you could fill this bag as high of candy as tall as you want. So I'm going to get this first one tied. You can do knots, you can do special kind of bows, whatever you want. Add charms, but just plain regular ribbon will work just great as well. So let's get our ribbon on here. And we have a cute little goodie bag that will be great to give. Someone will love to get in and get the little candies here. Now for the second project, we're going to bump up our candy bag just a little bit. We're still using a little plastic gift bag. I'm not using the iridescent, it's more of a clear one now. And I've added a little bit of paper inside with the ribbon. And if you can see inside there, we've got some little treats. I think I put Hershey treats in this one. And so that's what I'm going to share with you how to do now. So you are going to need a gift bag. And what I recommend with this one, Again, I think I got these at the Dollar Tree. You want to have a gift bag that is not very tight. See how well this one opens? And it even has little pleats on the side. And that's going to be important as we're putting our paper inside. Why I'm telling you this is because I've tried to do it another way and it didn't work. So when I have a gift bag, let me share with you this one that is rectangular. And even though I can open it like this wide, I can't open it as wide as this, and it's hard to put a piece of paper down inside of this. So we're looking for one that we can expand. I guess that's the way to say it. So this particular bag that I have is, when it's closed here, it is going to be about a 4x9 bag. But you can make this work for you doing different things. Okay, so we're going to need a gift bag, and we're going to need some paper. Now, the paper pad that I'm using today is by Park Lane. This is from Joann's. It's their Easter paper pad from 2025, and it's got some really cute colors. You can use whatever you want. As I was putting this one together, and as you can see, as I did with the first one, I did the blue and white gingham. I'm going to go to share with you. We're going to make one using this green and white gingham. These, of course, like I've said, are for Easter projects, but I was also thinking these would be cute for baby shower gifts or anything, you know, little treat bags or something like that. I can just see those on a little table. They would look so cute as little goodie bags to go. And we're going to, of course, need some little ribbon, and I'm just going with the little white. It's got a little bit of a sparkle. I don't know if you can pick that up on the screen, but let's get started in putting this one together. So I gave you the dimensions of my baggie that I'm using. And so for this bag to work, I'm going to need a sheet of paper that is cut to 3.5 by 5. So I have my paper trimmer here, and I'm just going to cut that 3.5 by 5. And we're going to do a little bit of scoring as well. And that's going to help our baggie to sit up. So when I have my little 3.5 by 5 paper, then I'm going to do some scoring. Along the 5-inch side, we're going to score at 2 inches. And then go to 3 inches, because basically we're going to have a 1 inch on the bottom. And you can see more of, maybe, I don't know if you can pick up the scoring there. I'm going to take my bone folder, and we're just going to fold on those score lines, and I want the colored paper on top. Now, again, well, I didn't mention before, but this is single-sided paper, and that works just fine. If you wanted to use double-sided, you could as well. So we're basically just folding this up like this, almost making a little tent if we were to glue it together. But we're going to leave it open. I'm going to take my goodie bag. I want to kind of open it up just a little bit, and it's as easy. We're just placing this down inside, and I want to make it so that it will stand up. So we just kind of have to play with it. That's another thing about, as you're picking your bag, that it will give you the leeway to stand up. It may work a little bit better once we have our candies. So I've got the Hershey Kisses that are, let me show you how cutely decorated their wrappings are. Isn't that so cute? So I'm going to put about 4 of these, and you could actually put a little bit of tape on the bottom and tape them down, but I have found that mine stay in place really well. But if you were maybe traveling or going to be moving around a lot with them, and if you wanted to make sure, we're just going to kind of line that up. Take the bag now, and we will be able to put it together. But you can see the little Hershey Kisses inside. Now, I went with just white ribbon, and I'm almost at the end of this roll. I'm going to have to get some more. But again, like we did with the other, I'm just going to tie a pretty little bow on the front of this. I also like to kind of come through when I do the first, before I do the bow, and then just kind of pull the paper up so that we don't have a lot of wrinkling. down with the paper. And then we're going to put our bow on here. Or you could just do a knot. It really doesn't have to be anything fancy, because really somebody just wants to get into the candy. So kind of make that easy. We don't want to tie really hard knots or anything, but just a simple little bow will do it. So here we have our 2 little baggies with Hershey Kisses, and that would make, to me, just a cute little gift to give to someone. Our next project I'm calling the Robin's Egg Bag. I love little robin eggs, and especially the candy robin eggs. These are the Whopper ones, but I love how they have the little speckled pieces of candy that resemble actual robin's eggs. And so if you can tell from our little bag here, we have added little shredded paper. Now you can get the shredded paper already pre-made, the kind that go in Easter baskets and stuff, or that you can buy for little gifts. But today we're going to make our own with some different projects I want to share with you. And I love to make little baggies here and put my own little topper. And you can be as fancy or as simple as you want when you're making these. I love using just decorative paper, but you could add stamping on there. You could add other embellishments, stickers, all sorts of things. But today I'm just going to show you the really straightforward way of just using decorative paper. So what you're going to need for this, we're going to need some green cardstock. We're also going to need some more paper to use for our toppers. You're going to need a gift bag or a little plastic baggie. And let me give you the size of the one I have. And I'm going to have links for these bags below. Mine is about 3 3/4 by about 6. And we're not going to actually probably use the whole length of the bag here, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Now, we're also going to need I'm using 2-sided tape. You can use some other tape or adhesive if you want, but I like to use that. And here are 2 tools that I have had for quite a long time, and I just really love them, and I'm hoping that I can find them to link below. First of all, this is a crimper. It crimps paper, and I'm going to show you how to use that. And then I also have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 these shears that have 5 different blades, 5 blade shears. These are by Martha Stewart, and I've looked and I haven't found exactly these same ones, but I'm going to share some. You might see these even used sometimes, not these because these are crafting ones, but in the kitchen aisle. So these are really going to be fun and be able to be used to make our little grass. And so let's get started with this. So let's first make our crimped up grass that we're going to do. So this is the little crimper we use. We're going to open it up, and I've got an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of cardstock that inside here, you place it inside, it kind of gets a little bit of a hold on it. So we're going to take our paper, put it inside here, and we will just twist it just a little bit to get a hold of the paper. And so now it is inside the crimper, and I'm going to close it up to make it tight, and then I twist this knob. It may be a little loud, but as you can see how it comes out here, almost corrugated. It also looks. It is crimped, and it goes all the way through. So now we have the crimped up paper. Now here's where we're going to use the scissors. So now I'm going to start. Usually I start on the end. And I'm going to hold it like this so you can see. I don't go all the way to the very end because that's going to be one of my pieces. These are great to make for this kind of grass that we're using. But if you can imagine when you're doing a project and if you want to make some grass, you wouldn't have to make it as long as mine. But it works well on cards. Anything that you're needing to make multiple cuts at once. And it's just fun to kind of do. Just be careful. It is a blade. Okay, so now I have all this cut at the bottom. Then I just take a regular set of scissors, pair of scissors, And I'm making sure that I get all of those little crinkles, and I cut them all out, and here they are. I have all my little crinkles. Yes, you can probably buy these, but they're so fun to make. And if you have this little crinkle set, it's really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put our little crinkle grass in the bottom of my baggie. I may actually have some extra. We don't want too much. I think that's a good amount right there. And I've got a few extra pieces that I can use on my next piece. Let's set this to the side, and now let's get our topper ready. So I'm going to use the same paper. I love using scraps, and I try to use as much of my paper as I can. Excuse me. And for this one, I don't think I mentioned, for this one we're going to need and it's based on my bag as well, 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So mine is 3 3/4, and then 1 1/2, or we're going to cut 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So I need to make sure that I cut this, the 3 3/4 by 3 1/2, because if your paper is directional like mine is, and what I mean by that, I'm going to show you. So mine is directional. When I fold this, and you can see it on, this is what I consider the front, because on the back side it's upside down. And if that bothers you, you may want to be careful in choosing your paper, that when you fold it in half, that it's not affected. So I'm going to take my paper, and I'm just going to fold it in half. We could score it, but I'm just going to mark up the edges and fold it over with my bone folder, and I have it folded in half. This will be the front side, okay? Now I'm going to use my two-sided tear tape, and I'm going to place the tape down, and I'm going to show you how I have it on this topper, because I like to make sure that the topper is closed all the way. So sometimes I may put a little extra tape on there than is necessary, but I like to do that to make sure that the topper is going to stay closed. So here it is, and if you can see, kind of a little bit hard to see, but you can see where I have put the tape along all 4 edges, and then I also like to put it on either side of the middle section. Now I've got my baggie again, and I'm going to put 5 eggs into my baggie. Oh, that one has a little bit, almost looks like someone has taken a bite out of it. I want my eggs to look really good, and I want to make sure that green grass is at the bottom and that the eggs show through here. So we'll have that there. Let's see, I need a blue one and a yellow. And I think I'm going to I'll do another red. So I put 5 in here. And I think that is so cute right there. You could tie that up with a little ribbon if you wanted to. We're going to use our topper though. And as you can see, I've got quite a bit. Even if I fold this down, my baggie is still there. So I'm going to trim a little bit off of my bag. I'm just eyeballing, and I'm going to fold it down. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of my tear tape, and first I want to close off the inside of my bag. You can find some bags that have this tape, and I've got some that I'm going to use here in a moment, but it's a different size, and I'm just closing that off first. Then I'm going to place another piece of tear tape here, and we'll get that off. Sometimes it's hard to get the paper off, and then I'm going to just fold it down. Now what I want to make sure of though is when I fold it down, is that I have not folded it too far so that any of the little bag sticks out. If it does, you could trim it off if you wanted to. Okay, let's make sure everything's in place like we want it. Okay, now let's take the tear tape cover off. I like to use this little pick that I have. It is Stampin' Up, but if you can find any other kind of, usually if you have a pick that comes with your Cricut, that works as well. And I'll put a link below to other kind of picks that are really good to use with tear tape to get that off. Okay, when I place this, I want to pay attention to the direction of the paper. Here's my little baggie, and I'm just going to line it up, making sure that the plastic is covered, and I just fold it over, and there we go. We have this cute little Robin's Eggs bags. And isn't that a cute little thing to give to somebody? It's very simple, 5 little whoppers, but just a cute little sentiment, I think. Our fourth project is this little jelly bean strip that I just think is so colorful and so wonderful when you use these colorful jelly beans. I'm using the, I would say, more like mini size jelly beans. And these actually that I've got are the Starburst. I know they come in the all red. You could get all red if you wanted to, but I went with the multicolor one. And then I have just a little topper that's very simple. I wanted to show you how you can just go with a piece of cardstock and a cute sticker. Again, we can make it fancier, but it doesn't have to be, and it's just cute as it comes. So the supplies that you're going to need for this are some little baggies that are strips like this. These are 1x8 bags, and I'm going to give you a link. I have the Stampin' Up bags, and I don't think they sell these anymore, but I will put a link to the ones that I do use. I have chosen just a scrap piece of paper of cardstock, this light blue, because I have several different stickers that I wanted to choose from. I have these little Easter eggs. I had gotten these at Walmart before. Some other little puff Easter stickers. So lots of different things, and these were 98 cents. You can make it very affordable and use this whole bag to fill up. I haven't even counted. Let's see, 3, 6, 12, 15. I think I have 19 jelly beans in here. So, but that's a great little treat. If you can imagine coworkers, if you had to do something for them and just place these on their desk, wouldn't they be so surprised? So let's get into making these. With my 1x8 bag, I wanted to show you, I will get this out of the wrapper. This particular one has a little strip on it that I can take off, and it has a sticky piece on it. So that's really nice to have. For our little topper that we're going to do, I need a piece of cardstock that is 3 by 1 1/4. Let's see, I may have, I'm just going to trim off just a little bit on this. I love being able to use my paper as I have it. So that's my 3 by 1 1/4. And since we're just going to do like we did on the last project and just fold it in half, and I'm going to take my bone folder, let's fold it down and make our little topper, and that's going to be it. Now again, you could use decorative paper, you could use stamps, any kind of thing, but I'm going to use one of these Easter eggs just like I did on the other. So another thing we have to look at, let's see, with this 1x8, I'm sticking my bone folder in here to kind of help get it open. And of course, as we're doing our candy, I have clean hands, this clean work area, because one thing I wanted to do with the colorful ones is pick out so there's, you know, not too many of the same colors together. So this may be the hardest part of this project, is getting the jelly beans down in here and in the order you want, but it's also really easy. It's not a difficult task. And I'm just going to place these jelly beans in here, and they will slide down the bag. So I will get to doing that and I will come right back. So I have all my jelly beans in. I think I got 20 in this one. So on this little baggie, I'm going to just remove the little covering for the adhesive. Take that off and I can just fold this down. And I've got that folded down, and now I will be able to place this on top. So we're going to need our two-sided tape as well. And I'm going to do it in a very similar fashion as I had done with the previous one. I like to put the sticky tape on all four sides, but because this is such a small piece, I think I'm going to go right down the middle. So I basically have 3 strips on this one. Then we'll lift off the covering using our little piece here. And then we're just going to fold this over. Let's see, I've got which side. We will fold it over. It will match up. And there we've got just the little topper. Now then you can do so many different things with this. Let's look through our stickers. And I think I'm going to go with, well, I almost went with the same one I did last time. I want to do a little bit different. I'm going to use, I think, the purple here. And I'm just going to place that on the front here. And that to me is cute and it is enough. And now we have our little jelly bean sticks. So these are great to give as treats. For my last plastic bag treats, you're going to need these cone-shaped plastic bags. They almost look like the kind when you would decorate, do some icing decorating. But I have used these before for different kind of holidays and things that you can mix up. And for Easter, one thing that works great, or actually 2 things that work, are goldfish to put in these and also little cheese balls. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to fill these with these items, and then I've also got some green ribbon that we'll put on top. And this gives us the shape of a carrot, okay? So let's go ahead and we will fill these up with our 2 snack items. So I've taken about a 12-inch strip of the green ribbon. The only thing about with the cheese balls is you don't actually get to the very tip of the cheese ball. You don't get one of those down into the tip end because it's bigger than the tip. But I still think it gives a cute look. And then when we have, let's trim off just a little bit of that. We have the topper. And then for those that like little goldfish, now if you can think of other little orange food items, that would be great. And comment some of those below. I've never tried Cheez-Its in there, but I think that might be cute. It would be in the square look, but I still think the orange would come out very cute. And I'm sure there's also some orange candies that I've just not thought about. Here's our little carrot treats that make great little gifts for our friends and family here at Easter time. So I have all these little Easter treats and goodies that we've made today, for our little jelly bean strips to our robin's eggs. We've got our little paper packs with Hershey Kisses, our little goodie bag with cute ribbon, and then our carrots made of cheese balls and goldfish. So these are just 5 of the little treats that you can make and share here at this Easter time. They're so easy and so fun to give and to share. And I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'd love to see some of the things that you're making. So be sure and comment them below. But look forward to me on my next video. I've still got a few other treats that we're going to share and make together. See you then.